Welcome back to Stoppage Time here at Pints and Punditry. I'm on location this week. I'm doing some vacationing, but I wanted to chime in on the Declan Rice rumors, particularly the ones that have Manchester City withdrawing their interest and Arsenal potentially submitting a £105 million bid to get the services done and giving him 48 hours. And I love the way this is playing out for a number of different reasons. One, ultimately, despite being a Manchester City supporter, I think Arsenal is the best fit for Declan Rice, and not from a style of play, just because they need him more and it's better for the league if he goes there. It also helps change the narrative, the ridiculous narrative that Manchester City just throws their money around and gets the best players every year, because it's just simply not true, but also because it makes them sound like they are this reckless, free-spending club a la Chelsea, a la PSG, that has no plan and is just throwing money out there every which way, and nothing could be further from the truth. Obviously, yes, they have a ton of money, they spend a ton of money. That's not really up for debate. But they don't just spend it ridiculously, and I've said this many times. Manchester City has a price on every single player, their own players and everybody that they are interested in. And I don't actually believe that any player would be off limits. Any one of their existing players, I don't think, despite what Pep would say, and despite what they would obviously say publicly, I'll bet internally they have a price listed on every single one of their players and every single player that they have any interest in that they are scouting. And for the right price, you could probably have any one of their players, because at the end of the day, they are a business machine. They are a profit-making machine. They are a money-making machine in addition to a trophy-winning machine. They would, for the right price, probably sell any one of their players. Now, that price is going to be astronomical and unrealistic for most of their players, the Haalands, the Fodens, Kevin De Bruyne, although as he ages, we're going to start hearing rumors about that as well. Look at what happened with Gundogan, and he's now at Barcelona. They had a price that they were willing to pay for him, to extend him on, and it wasn't what he wanted. And there were other factors in there. He had done everything he wanted to do at Manchester City. He was ready for a new challenge and all the sort of human elements that go into it. But I believe one of the sticking points was he wanted 2 years and they only wanted to give him one at his age. And it didn't matter what he's done for that club and how many amazing things he's done. Their line in the sand, for whatever reason, based on their analytics and their data, was that 1 year is all they were willing to do, and they would not budge. Same thing here with Declan Rice. I'm sure Pep would love to have Declan Rice. The fan base would love to have Declan Rice. The front office and the management would love to have Declan Rice, but they only want him at their price. And based on their analytics, 105 million euros is more than they're willing to pay. Now, I don't know if that's right or wrong. Personally, I'd rather have Rice at 105 than Grealish at 100, but that's just me. And so they have decided, for whatever reason, or maybe it's because they already have, Rodri, and they have that position really covered, so it's not a position of need, but they look into every scenario. Oh, this guy's available and he's a world-class talent. Well, we've got the money for him, so if he's willing to come, if West Ham's willing to sell him for 70, we'll do it, right? Or 80, we'll do it, but not 85. I don't know where their line was, but it's less than 105, because Arsenal's probably going to walk away with Declan Rice, and good for them. Manchester City needs the challenge. The Premier League needs there to be a challenge. If Manchester City wins the title again next year, it needs to have a legitimate challenge to it. And Arsenal gave them that this year, but ran out of steam at the end. And a player like Declan Rice will change that. So these things are good for the Premier League. It's obviously good for Arsenal, and I think it's good for Manchester City. It helps fight that narrative, which isn't going to change. Everybody's still going to talk about the money, but it's not that they don't have it, and it's not that they spend it recklessly. In fact, this proves that they do not spend it recklessly. They would not go beyond a certain amount, no matter who the player is, no matter what it was going to take. So, this is a good thing if this ends up with Liverpool retooling and Arsenal adding one of the best players on the market this summer to an already very good team. They've been linked with a lot of other good players as well. and Newcastle's loading up, and we're going to have a legitimate race, almost its own Super League, which is what the Premier League is becoming, which is a whole nother video and a whole nother story that European football as a whole has to work out. But within the confines of the Premier League, ultimately this is a good thing for a number of reasons, and I'm glad Declan Rice, it looks like, is not coming to Manchester City, just because I don't think it would have been good for the sport as a whole, as much as I would have loved to see him in blue. But I would love to get your thoughts on this. Is Declan Rice going to Arsenal the right thing for him? Should Manchester City be ponying up the money? Is this good for the Premier League? Whatever you want to talk about, chime in below down in the comments section, please. Hit that subscribe button while you're down there. Hit the like button for me. And of course, follow us on Twitter at TotalFIFACM. Thanks as always for joining us here on Stoppage Time. This is Pints and Punditry at Total FIFA Career Mode.